Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Basin. Welcome back to everyone who's already a subscriber to MMA Fancast YouTube channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews of MMA fighters or anything related to combat sports. And my guest today is returning to the show after a bit of a hiatus. It's going to be great to catch up with him. Noah Gaudiello. Noah, welcome back to the show.
Hey,
It is
what's up, man? It's
exciting.
good to be back.
Hey, brother, it's great. It's great to see you again. And you have a fight coming up for 247 Fighting Championships at the third ever 247 MMA at the venue, number three.
Mhm.
Very exciting. October 11th. So we're just under a month away. And we're going to get to that fight, who you're fighting. It's an undefeated guy. But let me back up. Last time you were on the show, you were 2-1. We were talking about a fight. You're now 3-1. You've picked up a win in the time I lost track of you or whatever happened. So talk about that fight. When was it, and how'd you get the win?
The last time we talked was before that third fight, I'm pretty sure, against Joey Klein. And then in that fight, I suffered a broken jaw, so that was the doctor ended up stopping that. So I had to go 15 months until I got my next fight, which was this past July. And we won that next fight pretty obviously by KO. It was against a good opponent. I'm pretty sure he was 2-1 as well, and went out there and got the job done. I felt like I progressed a lot in those 15 months, even though I was hindered by that injury for however long, and didn't notice any kind of hindrance or like shyness of getting in there, even though it was a pretty big injury the last time. So it went out there and got the job done, and trying to keep the train rolling before winter goes into next year and whatnot.
Well, it sounds like it was a big success, not only getting the win, but like you said, feeling physically good, but also mentally. People call it ring rust. You were away
Yep.
from the cage for a while, plus obviously, previously picking up a loss by a doctor stoppage is not a great night. But I'm glad you've recovered. Talk about those 15 months. I know a good number of them, once you could physically train again, were at Devotion MMA in Connellsville. Talk about that gym and kind of what it was like actively, leveling up your MMA game while not being able to take fights until July.
Yeah, well, going into that third fight, I was still fighting out of Amviares,
Okay.
which is it's a great gym. It's more focused on boxing training, and I know that's not the route I wanted to go, and I could not trying to toot my own horn, but like to a certain point, there's certain gyms that you can only get so far in certain aspects. And I feel like as far as MMA goes, the striking there is mainly catered to boxing. There was some jiu-jitsu stuff, and there wasn't that many bodies for as far as MMA goes that were kind of, able to really challenge you and push you to a certain level. It's a great boxing gym. Like they develop great boxers. They have really good fighters in that aspect. But I started kind of cross training at Devotion because my buddy started doing jujitsu there and started running the jujitsu there. And he's like, "Hey man, you gotta get down here. They do Muay Thai, kickboxing, and stuff like that." And we've kind of rolled it into more of an MMA program. And those first 6 weeks, I had my mouth wired shut. I wasn't able to train. But after that, I talked with my coach at Amviares. I talked to Aldo and decided that if I want to chase this and go as far as I can with this, it's in my best interest to go somewhere that'll help me progress and not really kind of hold me back. Not that they were holding me back, but I'm holding myself back in a sense that I'm not going somewhere where I can develop and learn and become better. And I was training there for, like I said, probably close to a year straight before I got my next fight. Uh, we got a lot of good bodies, a lot of good kickboxers, a lot of good Thai boxers, and then All American MMA in Uniontown. They kind of shut down for a sense, and we've incorporated 3 to 5 of their really good guys. So we have even more people that train MMA full time on the mats that are above my skill level, at my skill level, and whatnot. So I get a really good push from them. and we had a bunch of guys coming in from High Ground in Greensburg. Like it was a really good cross training environment. Had a bunch of very skilled MMA fighters, a bunch of people with a lot of MMA experience, like actual fights. Like there was only like a handful of us at MVRs with actual MMA fights. Now we had like 9 to 12 people on the mat at the same time. We had guys coming from even Black Cat down in West Virginia to help us train. So it was a really good cross training environment, and it was obviously my fourth fight compared to my third fight. I don't know if it's obvious for everyone else, but my skill level in my mind, I'm progressing daily, and it's really been a good decision overall to go there, and I love that place, man.
Well, I appreciate the history. You mentioned All American several years ago, kind of early to me doing this. We had Nick Nyquil Brown, the head coach
Yep.
and owner of All American, and also like an absolute stud when it comes to pro MMA. Fought Bellator. I've seen him fight
Yeah.
several times. Just an absolute stud. Is he training in around, or is he kind of someplace else as far as that goes?
I'm not like completely sure of what is going on with him.
Fair enough.
I know he has some stuff he's dealing with and stuff like
Sure.
that in regards to work and other things like that. So we've been trying. Trust me, like we've been really trying to get him to come down there and run an
Sure.
MMA class or something like that. Because if you've worked with Nick or like even seen him fight, like I've
Yeah.
rolled with him and sparred with him and down at All American, and man, it's different, man. He's on
Yeah.
another level, and having someone like that really would help. So we'll keep pushing that, trying to get him to come around, and I think we
Well,
will.
what's great, like you said, and the behind the scenes was the fact that when gyms start, combining, helping each other, getting 9 to 12 experienced fighters has really helped Devotion. Devotion in Connellsville, that sounds like an incredible spot for you. So, what round was your KO in the last fight in July?
First
Okay.
round.
And obviously, like you said, you felt good. You felt like you were levels above, and that's why you need to take the fights. You were 2-1 fighting a guy who was 2-1. Incredibly, like that's a good matchup. Being able to win by finish in the first round against a guy on paper that's evenly matched with you is a great thing, right? Because it means that you're kind of taking that next step. And speaking of taking the next step,
Yeah.
now's the time to look at your next opponent, Kyle Wenzel, who's 3-0.
Yeah, man.
Anytime you can fight an undefeated opponent, particularly an amateur, it's a big deal. And you're going to be fighting for 247 Fighting Championships. As I mentioned, 247 MMA at the venue number 3, October 11th at their brand new North Versailles, or as my uncle liked to say, North Versailles location.
Yep.
So talk about that. Why say yes to Kyle Wenzel? How did this fight come together? And do you put any stock in wanting to take his O away and hand him his first defeat?
Oh, I mean, of course, man. Like there's people that want to pick and choose who they fight, and to a point, like it's smart, it's amateur. You don't want to go out there and fight someone like that is like Bo Nickel. Bo Nickel came out through an amateur circuit, and those poor guys that had to fight him. I mean, you're running into a train.
Yeah.
And in a sense, like I want to fight good opponents, good evenly matched opponents. Like I mean, he's 3-0. He's not a pushover. He's not a slouch. So when I go out there and I fight him and I win, it's a big statement. It's like I can take on these guys that are at this level and that are doing well at this level. So what's that say about me? And I mean, I've seen some of his fights. I know he's a good wrestler and like styles make matchups. So it's like I'm really interested in to go out there and take on a good grappler, someone that's not going to be a slouch, that's actually going to give me a struggle and like make me show what I have like in my arsenal and what I work for. So I'm
Yeah.
very excited for this fight.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's the mindset of a fighter, the confidence, but also the respect to say, he's a good opponent. That's why you want to fight him. It doesn't help long term to not challenge yourself, particularly when it is amateur. So, and 247 did a great job of giving you your dues, because obviously you fought for 247 before, but also welcoming, I believe it was Kyle Wenzel's. I think this will be his first fight. Anytime you can get an undefeated guy in there, talk about the fact that have you done advanced amateur before? When you were 2-1 in your last fight, was that an advanced amateur fight?
Yeah, my fourth fight, I fought for Made Men, and it was
Okay.
advanced amateur, and I loved it, dude. I mean, being able, I mean, I know Pennsylvania amateur rules is different, but being able to throw head kicks, I mean, I didn't get the opportunity to ground and pound, but I'm excited for that. Threw a couple leg kicks without the shin guards on.
Mhm.
Just being able to fully encompass that feeling of being taking steps to being a pro. Because I mean, when you're a pro, man, it's elbows, knees, ground and pound, everything. So it's like taking them levels and going up the ladder and really being able to embrace it. Like I threw head kicks, threw leg kicks without the shin guards. I wanted to ground and pound, but I got a standing KO, so I didn't get to do that. But I mean, hey, we'll take it, you know.
Yeah, a standing KO is always a good thing if it's even if it means you haven't done ground and pound. Well, like you nailed it, and it's important for fighters, particularly amateur fighters, because the pro level, pro rules are pro rules. That's not 100% true. Several years ago, there were some states, even among pros, even at the UFC level, that allowed foot stomps. I believe they're now back in. I
Yeah,
remember years ago when I had my own gym, New York did not allow foot stops, but I think Pennsylvania did. So even at pros, there's tiny differences. But for people that may not know, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, there's 3 levels to fighting pro, which is basically what you see in the UFC. Advanced amateur is what we're discussing, which is 3 3-minute rounds. So it's an entire extra round in minutes compared to novice amateur is a big deal. There are not head kicks. The big thing in the difference in Pennsylvania is the longer rounds, which matter, ground and pound. And you probably know this, ground and pound being closed fist, not elbows. So you're not allowed like the up and down elbows. As far as that
to the
goes,
head.
to the head, right, to
Mhm.
the head, you could go clavicle and below. And we have seen at both advanced amateur and novice, we've seen fights finished on the ground, particularly novice, where there's not legal ground and pound. I've seen 2 fights in Pennsylvania be stopped by knees, usually cross
Mm.
body, side control, knees to the ribs, not to the spine. Obviously, there's a protected 4-inch down the spine, but very, very exciting. Um, Great that you've already gotten some experience. The shin guards, it's a physical thing, but it's also a mental thing. And for people that
Yep.
don't know, the shin guards primarily protect your shin if you kick somebody's elbow. If they're protecting, or that's usually, I mean, yes, it probably hurts just a bit more to get kicked by somebody without shin guards. People always think, oh, it's softening the blows to the other person, but it's more to protect the shin if you're blocked by an elbow. I'm sure you're doing shin hardening drills. That's always a
Mhm.
good time when you're working your way up, because you're gonna have to be able to take it if you kick him in the knee, if you kick him in the elbow or something like that.
Mm.
But so, what are your thoughts as far as prediction? You've done a great job, Noah, of talking about why this is an exciting matchup. To what I could see on Facebook, you were the first fight announced or second fight announced. They've only announced a couple fights for this, so it's a big deal. 3-1 versus 3-0. What are your thoughts as far as prediction wise, and now that we're under a month away?
I mean, I always plan on going and making an exciting finish happen. Like I want to go out there and get a finish. But I know this guy, out of all of my opponents, is going to probably make this the hardest one to achieve. And I know he's going to really try and take me down. So I plan on just anti-wrestling that, and I think he'll find it surprisingly hard to get me to the ground, and finding it surprisingly hard, even if he does get me to the ground, to keep me there. So I want to really frustrate him and just force him to strike with me and just put him down. And I mean, I assume that'll happen first or second round.
Well, I mean, that's a great prediction. It's a great mindset. Like we just discussed, you always want to consider your current opponent. Really, regardless of the record, his record makes it easy to to get yourself mentally right for a tough fight. But really, anybody that locks themselves in a cage with you at any point in your
Mm-hmm.
amateur or future pro career, and we've seen some on paper that look like mismatches. You still gotta have that mindset that it's your toughest fight, and that's a good
Of
mindset to have. You're a blast to chat with. Thanks for the update on the Devotion MMA gym. I mean, that was kind of cool to
course, man.
hear about that. And congrats to not only you, but everybody behind the scenes in the gym, making that gym even better. And a lot of times, multiple local gyms getting together, helping each other, combining, condensing, whatever is super important. Cross training. So I'm really pumped. This is where I always remind people to get their tickets at 247fighting.com. Do
Yep.
not get tickets from any type of Facebook, some nonsense link. There's a lot of scammers that get out there, but 247fighting.com or directly from Noah Gaudiello or anybody that actually has tickets. And if you are using the 247fighting.com, make sure you give Noah credit. It'll allow you to pick a fighter when you check out. If you're
Please.
from out of the area, now is the time to download the 247 Live app, which is incredible. I say this every time. 247 Fighting Championship has a great regional promotion, actually has their own app, so it's downloadable on any smart device, phone, tablet, or TV. So that's a great way to stream it if you're not from the area. Noah, will this be your first time at the new Sunny Days Arena at the venue, at the physical building?
Funny enough, I deliver packages to that building every single day because I drive for UPS. So I stare at it every single day. I'm like, damn, I'll fight there in a month. That'll be awesome.
That's
Uh,
cool. Have you been in there when it was going under renovations?
no, I delivered to the motorcycle and like Sea-Doo place on the other side, but
Yes, yes.
I've been around, kind of looked at it.
No, that's great. That's great that you've already been there from the outside. It used to be back in the 90s, I think it used to be a big plex complex for movie theaters, a big movie theater complex. And like you pointed out, um Mozit might be the name. I'm butchering it,
Yeah.
but it's Mozit motorcycles are one of those people might know about it. And I think an uh, auto store as well. And this is just a factoid I always love sharing. Mike Wilkins, who I've known for many years, who's one of the main coaches at Stout Pittsburgh, he and his beloved bride had their first date there back when they were teenagers because you go to the movies.
Oh yeah.
So it's cool. He and I were kind of walking around taking it in at the opening a couple months ago, and he was saying that he still remembered like it as a movie theater with his wife back when they were kids. So that's just kind of a cool memory. And now I've talked to several other people that remember it when it was a movie theater. But on October 11th, it will officially be the third MMA event there. Can't wait to see you put on a show. And thanks so much for taking time out. We're only just under a month away for October 11th. 247 Fighting Championships, 247 MMA at the venue, number 3 event. Super excited to have my guest tonight, Noah Gaudiello. Hello. Thanks so much for coming on the show, bud. Best skills.
Thanks for having me, man. See you guys there.
Absolutely, brother. See ya.